Alrighty guys, welcome back to God of War. The last time we met in God of War, we finished up the challenge of Poseidon. Wonder why I'm just standing there. But we finished up the challenge of Poseidon, and we arrived to the challenge of Hades. Jesus Christ, I'm still standing here. Oh, okay. I wonder what that was. I guess that was, I think that's generally how you know I'm starting a session, is I'm just trying to, I think I was looking at OBS and monitoring it, so I kind of forgot to edit that out. My bad. Well, you know what? Who cares? So we arrived at the challenge of Hades. We haven't started anything yet. So yeah, that's what this part's going to be dedicated to. We're starting the challenge of Hades. And that just made me realize I forgot to do something real quick. 1 second. Alright, now I'm back. I just did what I was going to do. I will not tell you what I did until later. So the challenge of Hades is the most difficult of the challenges, as, well, this one's about a lot of strength related stuff. You will be dealing with a lot of enemies, and there's also and there's a lot of death traps. First things first is actually there are chests here, so yeah, you can jump on the railings here and then grab these bowls of lava that seem to never overflow, I guess. And there's chests in the windows, or holes over here. Yeah, you can do it for both sides. I think my first couple of playthroughs, I never knew that you could do this, because I never really thought to just jump up on these things for no reason. But yeah, you know, free red orbs for you. Yep, it's just red orbs. Well, in this case, especially since that I have the Organize and Phoenix feathers, and my health expansions are all the way up. I don't have to worry about those anymore. So, yeah. So the first part of the challenge of Hades is a bit of a combat gauntlet, but there's a bit of a gimmick to it. I'm about to start it in a second after I'm done destroying pots like a greedy fuck. Or, you know, destroying pots and then just getting this treasure chest. So we have to make blood sacrifices for Hades. So this introduces a new set of enemies. Centaurs. I think that's what they're called anyway. I need to make sure I muted my phone before we start the... Yeah, I did not, because I know that one of the group chats I'm in are gonna go fucking berserk when I record, because they always do. So, for this combat challenge, you have to defeat the enemies while they're standing in this circle. And, well, there's 2 circles, so you'd have to defeat 8 of these guys. Poseidon's Rage is actually a really good thing to use here. Like, they have to be standing in the circle, not you. You know, you're making blood sacrifices. So yeah, I got one set done, so I gotta go do the other. Though I swear on my life, I've done this before where none of them were standing in the circle. And I got through this, so I don't know what happened. But I might be wrong on having to stand in the circles. I might be. I potentially, I think then this could be a really good area to farm red orbs. That's a good thing I'm invincible for that. Like, I think this is another good area to farm red orbs if you don't have any. If you just want to get some extra orbs for you. Just a thought. But I've mentioned, like, areas where you can... Oh, whoa, my voice just... Excuse me. I've mentioned a lot of areas where you could farm red orbs, potentially. And, the thing is I believe those... Oh, yeah. So that's just a camera angle displaying what of our challenges are going to be later. That's such a weird, random place to put the camera angle. But you know, and you don't even have to go over there. I guess it's just a way of, you know, hey, preview for later. What's his name? But like, I believe those areas typically, like, after a while, the enemies start giving out less and less red orbs to the point where they're just not giving anything out at all. As a way of saying, as the game's way of saying, move on already. Jesus Christ. Yep, my basic sense of curiosity kicked in, and I got red orbs. I got even more red orbs. I got even more red orbs. No. It's like an infinite line of red orbs. Why did I... What was that for? Oh god, I hate this part. Well, not that jump. That jump's fine. This one fucking sucks. This one... Alright. Yep. So, I think you have to jump, like, right when it goes out. So, you could just jump over that one. But you have to jump for it, like, when it starts to go out like that. Like, I'm trying to time it. But no, what I'm doing is I'm thinking it goes solid for a long time, but after it remains solid for a few seconds, that was just stupid. I didn't die, but that was just stupid on my part. I think I just get it by complete accident. Yeah, like, clearly I was not standing there, but I'll take that. Alright. So, what I did earlier, when I stopped the recording for a split second, was this. So, this area, you have to defeat every enemy in the area in order to progress. And it's not like this area takes me too long to get through. This is not hard to do. It's just killing it's just killing a bunch of enemies and then moving on. The thing is, though, is, you know, we've seen the combat a million times. I don't want to make you sit through that, so I'm just gonna speed this up for the sake of flow. So, yeah, I'm speeding this up because, I mean, there's just no point in seeing this. And plus, I do a little exploring, looking for red orb chests and stuff like that, because there are chests here. But, like, there's, like, you have to make sure you find every enemy in the maze before you go. I am Kratos. But, you know, this isn't a hard thing to do. You know, this isn't like life or death anything. Like, you don't have a time limit or anything. You just, the door to, you know, get out of here will tell you you can't leave until you killed everybody here. And, well, yeah, we're gonna have to do that. So yeah, we have to kill everyone in the maze, and then, yeah. So, this is probably the most easy part of Pandora's Temple. It's just killing things. And then, yeah. Luckily, the things don't open up while you're on your way back. Yeah, but there's just some red, you know. So the footage is gonna look a little weird because, yeah, speeding up and then watching the slowed down footage almost immediately after is just gonna look goddamn ridiculous, to be honest with you. You know, it's just like an effect I don't like about video editing sometimes. You know, especially if you're like me, who's just like, I think the one video in my life that is still weird no matter what, because I'm so used to seeing it in double speed, is the guy screaming to stop posting about Among Us. You know, that guy's video. Yeah, but there's the door right there. But there's also enemies in this doorway right here. Ooh, Jesus, I almost died there. I think that's death. That or it's just you just get hurt. Not really a theory I want to find out about. Someone could tell me if they died to that thing. I'd laugh at you, probably. I'd probably laugh at you for a few minutes. Yeah, but like you can tell that you have to kill everybody because the meter's filling up. Also, the door does tell you itself. But yeah, we're done here. That is the end of the combat gauntlet maze of Hades. I don't know what else to call it. The Legends of the Hidden Temple challenge. I don't fucking know. There was an arrow there. So now we are doing our second part, or we're about to get ready to do the second part. So, okay, I'm sticking one step ahead here. So what we have to do is, first off, swim underwater. So yes, the Poseidon's trident was also useful for this. We have to pull this lever here, which turns on the light that's in Hades' head. By the way, the thing turned back around. I think they didn't anticipate me doing that before I started. Man, I love not being able to control the camera. It's like that's probably why I will never, you know, enjoy going back to the old school Resident Evil games. Like that's why I like the remakes so much, is because you know you have free control of the freaking camera. Like I hate not being able to control the camera in games because it's just like, especially if it's something like what Resident Evil and God of War does, where it cuts when you, and then when it does cut, so like say you're holding down on the analog stick and the camera cuts to be behind, you know, in front of Kratos, and you're still holding down. Well, now Kratos is going to be going up for some reason. It's kind of annoying. I think that, or you know, Kratos starts going in the opposite direction or something like that. Like, okay, so say the camera's behind Kratos, and you're holding down, and when you pass a certain level, past a certain point, you know, the camera cuts to be behind Kratos. You're still holding down, but now he's going to turn around. Okay, this part's actually pretty simple. You know, I just make it complicated. So what you have to do here is not die. So these fireballs here are going to keep coming no matter what. But one of these doors on the side let you out of here. So what you have to do, so yeah, you have to open the doors and, you know, figure out which one's the one that's going to let you out of here. Because, you know, however, you do get something for going to the end of the... Ow. Wow, I just clipped through that. But you do get something for going to the very end of the challenge. Now, I'm opening doors for some reason because, yeah. This challenge is only really annoying because of the fact that you have to mash the R trigger in order to open the door, and the problem with mashing the R trigger on the PS3 specifically is it's springy, meaning that it's just very awkward to mash. Because the PS2 didn't have this problem, so they got away with that. That's why I'm so happy God of War 2 changed the mashing button to be the circle button. So yeah, if you get up here, you actually get a hint on how to get out of here with that book up there. Eight dead ends, one way out. Will you find it before flames of Hades consume you. So there's 8 ways, there's 9 doors, 8 of them are dead ends. You gotta figure out which one's the right one. I think it's completely random on which one it is. That, or I just never remember which one the first one is. They also give you a free health recharge, because if you keep letting yourself get hit by the fireball, it will chop away your health. I also, once again, sped this up for the sake of flow. Because, Jesus Christ. It doesn't take me too long. I just... You know, you're just watching the same thing. Honestly, though, I'm pretty sure, in later parts of this game, I'm going to be using the speed up, or just cutting a lot of stuff out for the sake of, you know, just getting a move on with the Let's Play. I was very, and I mean very tempted to play on easy mode for this Let's Play, just for the sake of flow. You know, just to skip almost all the combat and stuff and just get a move on. I was this close to doing it. I was very close to doing it. But I chose against it for a few reasons. One, I think God of War's difficulty is a little more balanced than what Devil May Cry does. You can prove me wrong all you want, but I have an easier time in old school God of War games than in the likes of Devil May Cry 1. And I don't know why. You know, I've never really had a problem with Devil May Cry 2. Honestly, if you have a problem with Devil May Cry 2 in terms of difficulty, I don't know what to tell you. Because that game is literally just Ebony and Ivory the game. And watch me still somehow die. But the reason I'm playing easy mode on Devil May Cry 2 is also for the sake of just getting a move on, because while yes, the game's a lot easier because of how Ebony and Ivory work, a lot of enemies are also just damage sponges, and I'm not wasting my time on that. I'd rather just get a move on. I think the only Devil May Cry game that I may not play on easy mode would probably be Devil May Cry 3, 4, and 5, but even then I'd probably play on New Game Plus mode, just so we can, just, again, get a move on. Because yes, I do like these kind of character action games, but, you know, Let's Playing them is a very different thing, especially if you're like me and who's doing post-commentary. You know, watching the combat is not as fun as playing the combat. And I don't know how else to support that. You know, I use these Let's Plays as a means of just kind of showing you guys how to get through the game, assuming, you know, people are actually using my shit for guides. I mean, if you look at my Arkham City Let's Play, I'm pretty sure that is, like, the most useless guide ever, because I don't even, like, I don't think I really, like, I think I just go for random Riddler trophies at random times. But, you know, someone would probably go for the Riddler trophies by like, their spot on the grid. You know, that's what a good guide would do. You know, I show you how to do it. I don't show you where it is. They're just like, hey, there's a Riddler trophy. He's like, hey, we're gonna get this Riddler trophy. Which one is it? I don't fucking know. It's a Riddler trophy. But, like, you know, I don't think anyone's looking at combat tips from me. Like, I don't think I really, like, study, like, I'm not really one of those kind of people in, like, character action games that study, like, exactly what, weapons do in terms of, like, stun and stuff like that. Like, oh, the Blades of Chaos stun for 4 frames versus the Blade of Artemis that does, like, 20 frames or some shit like that. I'm not, like, that kind of person. You know, mainly because I just honestly don't care. Like, I look at a weapon based on, like, its effectiveness in terms of dealing damage and, you know, if it also just kind of fits with my playstyle, you know, especially for that particular game. Like, an example I can think of immediately is some people say that, what's her face? Tiki from Fire Emblem Warriors, the first game, is very OP. And you know what? I will admit she is, but she's just not my playstyle. I don't like playing as Tiki because, you know, you have to be in awakening mode constantly in order to be effective. and that's just not my style. I'd rather see something immediate with, just my base character. So I'll probably stick to someone like Chrom or Marth or Lucina or, any of the archers because of just how effective they are. I do the same exact thing for RPGs too. I think it's just the general rule for me with video games in general. Is I just look at what's effective, at face value. Like the blades, like for example, the Blades of Chaos. I think the Blades of Chaos are more effective, because they can attack groups of enemies relatively easily. Like, I could do the Cyclone of Chaos and hit both of the Minotaurs right now, like what I'm doing right now. While the Blade of Artemis, however, could probably really just focus on one of them. Poseidon's Rage does a lot of damage in a wider area like this. But, something like Medusa's Gaze focuses on one singular enemy, and leaves me wide open to attack. It's also probably the main reason I'm actually, I don't like playing as Dante in Devil May Cry 5. I don't like playing as Dante as much as, Nero or Virgil, because of, you have to get to be the most effective with Dante, you have to be able to, switch weapons and styles, on the fly, and I'm just not good at that. Not yet. I think I just need to practice with that, is my thing. But, at least in DMC 5, you can get away with not switching at all. It'll be harder for you, but you can stick to, Swordmaster and still be relatively effective. But, you're just gonna look stupid while you do that. But, Nero, really the only thing you need to learn about is how to use Devil Breakers. But, once you get his Devil Trigger and, his New Game Plus kind of stuff, then he really just becomes the most fun character in the game to me. Virgil is just fun. I love characters who are, agile like that. And I know there's, a common weeb thing to say, but katanas are cool. Just gonna be honest with you. If you, and Virgil pulls off the abilities with a katana really well. Yeah, also I do like his, whatchamacallit, the Mirage Blade. I actually like that set of weapons too. And his, it was Beowulf, if I'm remembering correctly. Because overall, Virgil's just fun. I just love Virgil in 5 specifically. In 4, I don't remember. I haven't really played much with Virgil in 4, at least not to my recollection. I actually really also like how Virgil and Dante play in the DMC reboot. Yeah, I will admit that. I actually do like the DMC reboot in terms of gameplay, but that's a tangent for another time because we are now at the end of the part. So the next time we meet in... I was about to say Devil May Cry. Oh man, we need to call this God of War May Cry. The next time we meet in God of War, we're going to be continuing on to the challenge of Hades, to what some people consider to be their least favorite part of the challenge. But we'll see that when we get there. So see you guys next time, and take care.